The Saga of Harald Finehair. Prologue. The sea gives and the sea takes away. For Harald Finehair, the waves were his cradle and the storm his school. His childhood passed among the cold fjords of Norway, where every breath of wind carried the scent of salt and death. He was the son of a petty king, but from his earliest days he knew his destiny was not to rule a mere fragment of land, but to unite all clan territories under one banner. As a young man, he made a vow that would one day become legend. I will marry only when I become the sole king of Norway. In his heart, this promise burned like the fire in a forge, driving him to step where most would never dare. His path began with the glory of a warrior, but his true story started the day he heard the name Ragnar Lothbrok, the man whom the sagas already called the son of Odin. Arrival in Kattegat. Kattegat greeted him with the noise of the market, the clang of hammers, and the cries of seagulls. His longship, crowned with a carved dragon's head, moored to the wooden pier. People stopped to gaze at the newcomers. Ragnar came out to meet him. "Speak plainly," said Ragnar. "Are you friend or foe?" "A friend, if friendship will not stand in the way of me becoming king of all Norway," Harald replied calmly. This bluntness was not arrogance, it was truth. Ragnar saw the strength and fearlessness in him, but a flicker of warning flashed in his eyes. An alliance with Harald would never be without danger. The first raids. Together they sailed west. The expedition to the shores of Northumbria became Harald's first great trial. Storms battered the sails, and the sea tossed their ships like toys, yet the Vikings pressed forward. When they landed, the English warriors met them with a shield wall. Harald was in the front ranks. His sword split enemy spears, his shield deflected blows. He fought with the ferocity of a man who felt each strike brought him closer to glory. After victory, they plundered the city, but Harald's eyes were more often on Ragnar than on the gold. He was learning how to lead men, how to divide spoils so that every warrior felt valued. Ambition and the vow. In the long winter nights by the fire, Harald told the warriors of his dream. "All these clan wars are meaningless. We waste our strength fighting among ourselves. I want to see Norway united. I will be her king, and then..." He would pause and someone would always ask, "And then you will marry?" Yes, only then. For him, this was no jest. He truly set love aside for the sake of power. His heart was encased in the armor of ambition. Alliances and betrayals. After Ragnar's death, the Viking world changed. Ragnar's sons fought for power, and Harald saw his chance. He allied at times with Ivar, at times with Bjorn, always remembering that his goal was not to serve, but to rule. His alliance with Lagertha was fragile. He even married her shield maiden Astrid, but this marriage became a tragedy. Astrid was taken captive by Harald, and though they later became husband and wife, the shadow of coercion always hung between them. In the end, in battle, she took her own life rather than bear a child from an unwanted union. This moment marked a turning point for Harald. He felt that power did not always mean victory. The struggle for Norway. Wars dragged on for years. Harald gathered more and more jarls under his banner. He fought in the north against clans that refused to acknowledge his rule, and in the south against those who sought foreign aid. His ships sailed from Ireland to Flanders. He fought against the English, the Franks, even against former allies. In every battle, he was at the front. His golden hair streaming above the crowd, a sign to the warriors that while he lived, they would fight on. The last battles. The war with Bjorn Ironside became decisive. Bjorn refused to bow, and both men claimed the title of supreme ruler. The battle on the shores of Norway was brutal. Snow turned red, and the ice beneath their feet cracked under the weight of the warriors. Harald was wounded, but fought on until he fell. He was saved, but his strength was leaving him. The death of a king. Death came not on the battlefield, but in silence. He sat on a hill, gazing at the fjords. His hair was no longer as golden as before, and his hands no longer as strong. But in his eyes the fire still smoldered. He knew his vow had remained unfulfilled. He had not become the sole king of Norway, and he had never married. "I chased glory, and found only the wind," he whispered, and the sea breeze carried away his last breath. The warriors buried him atop a cliff, so he could forever look upon the sea he had loved above all else.